Will it be a refreeze tonight?
For the mountains?
Yeah.
For us, we're going to stay above freezing. So
Okay,
that's
good.
the good news. And we are actively seeing it right now. However, we are starting to see some signs. So I was just looking with my director and my producer back there. They were looking at some of the cameras just around Boone and Blowing Rock. Things are starting to change over to snow. So even though it's not showing this here, it is actually showing a good sign that the freezing rain event is starting to come in. You actually can see a little spot right there in blue around Jefferson. Once you start to see snow take over, that shows that the middle part of the atmosphere, anywhere from 2 to 10,000 feet up, is starting to drop below freezing, and that's good news. That's what you actually want, because it's when it's slightly above freezing, things partially melt or fully melt into a super cool droplet, and we got freezing rain. Let's talk about some of the reports. Every one of these dots is reporting an accumulation of freezing rain of some sort. So as we just raised our weather IQ, a quarter to a half inch of ice isn't good. And that's exactly what we saw, and we saw the impacts. Numerous tree limbs snapping throughout the region. That was the most recent report because of the weight of the ice here in Glendale Springs. Right close to there, we also had Laurel Springs as well. They were reporting multiple power outages because they reported a half inch of ice. And what did we also learn? That's about 500 pounds of ice in the power lines. So we're starting to see those snap, and the winds are starting to pick up. So we've actually only just begun. Even though we might remove freezing rain from a threat, if the winds continue to blow, it's not going to melt right away. We actually could see more power outages. So keep that in mind. If you're watching from the mountains right now, start charging your devices if you haven't already done so. And one more report to share with you. Fleetwood, ice accumulations between about a quarter to a half inch. I personally, if I lived anywhere near here or I was supposed to drive through here, I wouldn't, just because it's too hazardous, especially in some of the hilly areas. Before you know it, you could be sliding off the road. And we've actually had several traffic reports of that as well. Now we're transitioning over to more of a flood threat, though. So excessive rain watch is mainly for off towards the west, but we do have a low risk across the Charlotte area and the mountains included. So far, we've only recorded about a half inch, 3/4 for the upper levels. Well, we've actually taken a break over the last couple. We're adding about another 1 to 2 inches across the region, a whole lot less down towards the southeast. I'm going to show you why here in a sec. Check out our futurecast. We're about to introduce the rain back in action, especially north of I-85. That's where we're seeing most of this jazz. And then you have a little bit of freezing rain, maybe some sleet, some snow. Everything goes mixing in just along the border of Watauga and Ashe County. But for all in all, this is going to be rain. But you're seeing some yellow introduced here. That's a rain rate up to about a 1/4 inch per hour. So it's going to be heavy at times. This orange, that's about a half inch plus per hour. And I would not be surprised if some of us hear rumbles of thunder. It's weird to hear rumbles of thunder when the temperature's around 40 degrees. But yeah, we have the right conditions for it. And that rain's going to continue to be persistent through the afternoon, through the evening. However, if you live east of Monroe, you have the best chance of actually staying dry for a good portion of the afternoon and the evening. Now, the final hurrah. This is also where we have another chance for thunder and maybe some gusty winds along this line. This is going to move through the early morning hours. By the time we hit our peak morning commute, I think the rain is done. We still have the leftover wind impacts behind this, and then also going to have still some wet roads. And then heading into your Thursday afternoon, alas, the sunshine. So just note, we have that thunderstorm risk over the next 24 hours. Mainly, it's just going to be an audible thing where you can hear it. Tomorrow's forecast into the lower 60s. Beyond that, temperatures are all over the place. I think some areas are going to be in the 40s on Saturday, others in the 50s. All of us should be either side of 50 degrees for Valentine's Day, one of the only dry days over the next 5. And then Saturday and Sunday, we're going to have on and off rain throughout the weekend. There will be some dry slots, no worries. Sunshine back on Monday, and then on Tuesday, 52 degrees. So 3 out of the next 7 are dry. The other ones, well, kind of like today.